you'll be in for a great entertainment right here. Coming on with the Gullah Geechee Ring Shouters. Thank you. Okay?
Tell me if again, turn around and lose my soul. Tell me what will become of me. Tell me if again, this world turn around and lose my soul. Tell me what will become of me. You know it's amazing grace. Tell me how sweet the sound. Oh, that saved a wretch like me. And you know I once was lost. Tell me, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Tell me if again this world turn around and lose my soul. Tell me what will become of me. Tell me if again this world turn around and lose my soul. Tell me what will become of me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
We are the Geechee Gullah Ring Shouters. We are embracing, preserving, and trying to protect our priceless heritage. Take it off. We are embracing, preserving, and trying to protect our priceless heritage. Amazing Grace is our theme song. Some of you scholars may know the meaning of Amazing Grace. Well, in the event that you do not know, Amazing Grace is a song that was written by one of the worst sinners that ever lived. John Newton was his name. John Newton was a slave trader, had made many trips to Mother Africa. One night, off the coast of Sierra Leone, John's ship came upon a mighty tempest of the sea, and try as he might, he could not control his ship. Now, in the bottom of that ship was precious cargo. Some of my ancestors, maybe some of your ancestors. And try as he might, he could not control his ship. So John began to talk to an unseen person, a person his mama had talked to, a person that she had called God. John asked God, save us. And in that self-same hour, the river ceased to roar. And John was able to control his ship and save his cargo. Now, John made a few more trips to Mother Africa, bringing back those precious cargo. But then John got an attack of conscience, and John soon began to talk against the very thing that had gained him his livelihood. Not only that, John decided he wanted to preach about it. So John tried on 3 tries. On the 3rd try, he was ordained and became a minister. Now, here we are. It is New Year's Eve. John has been asked to deliver the New Year's Eve sermon. And the only thing John could think about was the grace of God. John picked up the pen and he began to write Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Delivered that sermon. And pretty soon someone thought about it. They wrote music to the words of the song. So our sermon has now become one of the most beautiful songs ever sung. We sing it at weddings. We sing it at funerals. So we sing this song. And we think about the man by the name of John Newton. And we say, truly, if the grace of God could save John Newton, then the grace of God can truly save you and I. So that is why Amazing Grace is our theme song.
Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Now there's something going on up here in here.
Up in here.
Y'all didn't know nothing about
They
it.
don't know.
Well, you all don't know anything about that. Like I said, we ain't gonna dress it up,
We're not gonna
cause
dress
that ain't who we is.
That's not who
We
we
the
are.
Geechee Gullah Ring Shouters, and that's who we for be. Now, when we go into our various churches on Sunday morning, and we come out, we look at one another, and we say, "Oh, how about that religion?" And you know what we have a tendency to say, "Oh, it's so sweet." We don't say them like that. We say, "How about that religion? How about that religion? How about that religion? How about that religion? How about that religion? Shout that religion! Shout that religion! Shout that religion! Shout that religion! Go tell everybody about that religion. Make me happy, make me happy. Rock that religion, rock that religion, rock that religion, rock that religion. Go tell everybody about that religion. Make me happy, make me happy. Shout that religion, shout that religion, shout that religion, shout that religion. Go tell everybody about that religion. Make me happy, make me happy. Rock that religion, rock that religion, rock that religion, rock that religion. Go tell everybody about that religion. Make me happy, make me happy. All right. Now, these group of people up here, we can all trace our ancestry roots right back to slavery, all the way back to Sierra Leone. Now look here, we have the oldest active ring shouter we deem in the world up here. She is 92 years young. Y'all give my a hand here. Raise your hand, man. Ain't me. And she is legally blind. So anything she do up here, she can do them. I tell them if they start breakdancing, somebody gonna shut them down. But she ain't gonna do none of that. But I had the experience the other day of sitting in the living room talking about somebody. And this little fella of mine, he's 7 years old. But he just sit down and he listen. And y'all didn't know, but my pastor is my son. And that little fella going back and tell the pastor what I say. And you know why he been helping me talk? I should have had do him like the old people used to do, knock him and sit him somewhere. But he ain't going. He stand right there and listen. So I see the sign, because time drawing nigh. I see the sign. 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 Sign in the air. Sign in the air. Sign in the air. Sign everywhere. Sign everywhere. Sign everywhere. Hey, God talking. Hey, God talking. Hey, God Now, this group has performed many places. Did a 3-day tour in Canada where we had the awesome task of visiting some of the most historic places. We also performed for the Pope in 2015 on the very same stage where he did his Mass on that Sunday. And we're just excited about the gift that God has given us to give to you all. So we say things sometime and y'all think it funny. This, that, ain't, and is. But Magic is gonna tell y'all how come us talk like us is. Is that all right? Magic, can you tell them how come us talk like us is? All right.
As we travel, we like to try to educate our young folks. We let them know that hatred is not what we teach,
Oh no.
but heritage is what we preach. We have a heritage of courage, hope, love, faith, and determination.
All right.
We have always been led by divine inspiration.
That's it.
So we let our young folks know that they don't have to be ashamed
All right.
of the way that great-grandma and grandpa talked.
All right.
Because once upon a time,
Yeah.
we had a language all our own.
We still got them.
Had we maintained our language, we could stand in the grocery line,
That's it.
hold a conversation, and few people would know what we were talking about.
All right.
And then we also let them know that the reason is because when we came from Mother Africa,
All right.
we were placed on different plantations,
That's it.
different tribes, and then we had to communicate with one another, and we had to do what Master said do.
Oh yeah.
So we adopted a form of language. Now, as we got older, and as we got educated and more sophisticated, we said it was broken English.
Come on, Mike.
We said it was Ebonics, but it was the us language,
That's it.
or the we language.
That's it.
And we learned how to communicate, because I remember like yesterday,
I remember like it was yesterday.
when I first had to go to school.
When I first went to
You
school.
know why I done night for?
This is what I did the night before.
I go into the shift room,
I went to the dress,
and I get my frock,
my dress,
bring them out to the front room,
brought it out to the living room,
lay it on the lounge chair, the settee.
laid it on the sofa.
And then I see my brother, his britches and the bro grab it right there too.
His pants and his boots was right there.
And I said, you know, 4 days next morning,
Before day,
I get up
I got up,
and I heist the
I
window.
raised the window.
And then I walked out on the piazza.
On the porch.
See my great grandma, I said, how wonderful be?
How you doing?
See my joint to hurt me.
My joints hurt.
What wonderful do?
What are you doing?
I eat my ration.
My food.
Where wonderful go?
Where are you going?
I go into the schoolhouse. I left the kiff.
The house.
I walked out in the yard.
The yard.
I said, I had no cat.
No car.
And I seen this cutter creeping across the
A
yard.
turtle crawling across the yard.
Going on down yonder to the schoolhouse, and I seen 2 women.
Women.
One been stout and one been narrow.
One was fat like me and one was skinny.
And I tell you what, that woman had the prettiest airball.
Earrings.
And then they said, well, who you for be?
Who child are you?
And I said, well, I going, they asked me that I going back to the kiff.
To the house.
So I going back to the kiff, and when I get there, first thing they say,
First thing,
go to the ice box,
go to the refrigerator.
get yourself a soda water or belly washer,
A soft drink.
and then get the yard broom
The rake
and sweep the yard.
and rake the yard.
Now listen, we say giant,
Joint.
we say giant,
Joint.
we say giant,
Joint. Point.
we say pint.
Yes.
Well, there's something happened.
The old went on vacation.
We say yard,
Yard.
we say cat,
Car.
we say patty,
Party.
we say lad.
Large. The R went away.
Now, it sounds humorous, but listen to it. If A came before R, they did not pronounce the R.
All right.
If O came before I, they did not pronounce the O.
All right.
We thought they were speaking bad English,
Oh no.
but that was just a method to the madness that they learned how to communicate.
All right.
So y'all don't go back to school talking about giant pint and quine. But just understand that it was our language. And that was the reason that they spoke the way that they did.
Yes,
Because they had to put it all together.
All right.
Eventually someone is going to write a dictionary with our language in it.
Oh yes.
We want them to know that the Geechee Gullah Ring Shouters are the one who first introduced O before I and A before R.
Come on, y'all, give us a hand clap. Yeah, we done one right here. All right.
We wear the apron. We can dress up,
Yes.
but these frocks are made. There's some of them is falling apart. Well, our foreparents did not have the fine apparel.
Oh no.
They did not have belts.
No, no.
And the others still Macy's. So we wear these only to let them know from whence we came.
All right.
These are programs.
Boots.
We wear them because Master gave to us when I've been working on the plantation.
He gave them to us.
And if our feet been size 9, and the shoe, you know, way down, it's shoe in the 7.
He just packed some paper and we couldn't read.
Because I couldn't read no how. So we thank them anyhow.
All right.
Because us were surviving on the plantation.
Oh, yes.
Now this is a head scarf, head rag. It's a scarf now, but it was a rag before.
Yeah, rag.
We wore it to keep the sweat out of our brow.
Yeah.
Because we carried things on our head. But I'm told that over in Mother Africa, if this knot is tied to the right,
All
it
right.
means that you are married.
That's it.
If it is tied to the left, it means that you are single.
All right.
Now over in Mother Africa, I don't know what the middle means. But over here, the Geechee Gullah Ring Shouters say, if it's tied to the middle, we are.
Honey, if it's tied up in here, we looking because we ain't got no man. Our manager just came on board and we're going to ask him if he would come up at this time. Would y'all give our manager, Pastor Griffin Lawson, a round of applause as he comes?
What we're going to do here for the Geechee Gullah Ring Shouters, and we say this, we see a lot of cameras that are videoing and taking pictures. This group that you see, all 100% of them are part of the Gullah Geechee culture. They are pure blood, okay? So we don't mind if you video and you perform, because it was at this very same festival. For all of the organizers that are here, you need to hear this. It's nothing uncommon for us as a group to get media and on the Facebook and sharing. It's nothing for us to get 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 50,000 hits. But because of what you just heard, it was at this festival last year. So this festival, make this a part of your archive. One of the individuals was videoing us. And for whatever reason, something happened and it went viral. I looked at it just recently. It started in June. I believe it was last year at one of the festivals that we were at. But right here on St. Helena Island, right here, St. Helens, someone videoed us. And believe it or not, when they videoed it, it went viral. We went from 50, 60,000. I looked at it December, and the same thing, our Maya Angelou, Marjorie Washington, and also our president here, they did the language, and it went viral. So I want you to give yourselves a hand just for a minute. It was 2.4 million viewers worldwide. And in 30 days, it went to $2.5 million. So Hilton Head, you did it. Now, we're going to tell you a little bit about the herbs and stuff that we use, but just before we do that, we're going to give you a little bit more history about who you're listening to today, and then we're going to give you a little bit about the history, okay? And all you're going to learn, if you want to, video all you want, you can take pictures afterward, we'll answer your questions for you. But what we do, we're going to give you the polyrhythmic beat that came from West Africa. We didn't originate it. We're the only group in America that every time we perform, 90% of our clap, we keep it alive that it came from Africa. Number two, the ring shouts you see them doing. Well, what is that crazy thing that they're doing? That came from Africa. All of the songs and things of that mostly came here in America. Some of them that you do not know, that we've gotten worldwide attention. But did you all know we have the oldest active ring shouter in the world? All right. And she is still performing. And she still, you know, live right next to her. I'm not going to tell you where those herbs are, but some are in her yard, so don't ask me for her address, okay? I won't give you that. Now, this is very important. This part right here is the beat. We taught this to the movie Roots, the new Roots movie, okay? And the movie production. And Birth of a Nation, we told them about that? All right, Birth of a Nation, we have two of the stars from Birth of a Nation. Another, on not too long, far from here in South Carolina, they were in a movie that we did 2 or 3 years ago, When Waters Meet the Sand. They were all in it. And we have Miss Joanne Waltow Ross, and Captain Jack was in the movie Birth of a Nation. Give them a hand. Now, Captain Jack was, believe it or not a good story. He was hung in Birth of a Nation, all right? But we brought him back for you guys here today. Now, we want you to learn what we taught Roots, okay? Hollywood. Learn this beat and never forget it. Never forget it. Are you ready? It goes like this. Listen up. Loosen your arms up, young and old. There we go. It goes like this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. That's it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, the stick man. The stick man. Now, the washboard. If you notice, it's all the same beat. If you notice, it's all the same beat. And as we often say when we perform, can you believe it? Hollywood paid us to train them how to do that. And we took all the money they gave us, all right, so we could come to places like this. There's much more that we can tell you about the herbs and different things of that, but we're very proud of this group right here. It's Joanne Waltower Ross. I'm not going to point out to you who that is, but if you see somebody here today, she's from the Waltower Plantation, believe it or not. Joanne Waltower Ross. She's on the stage. She did not own the plantation, but she worked on the plantation. Well, I hate to admit it, she worked for free. Her family did, her ancestors, because it was her ancestors, was of the African American and Gullah Geechees that carried that name, the plantation owners. And now she lives here today, the 7th generation from slavery. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but if you see somebody carrying something up here today that looks like a washboard, that's Joanne Waltower Ross. Let's give her a hand.
Now look here. Margie was talking about Massa a few minutes ago, and I heard Pastor mention something about Massa. But now I don't like him for talk about Massa, because Massa was good to eat. Because Massa always gave us something to eat. Now did he give us something to eat or no? Something to eat for you all that don't know Geechee. All right. But on the plantation, we had the best food, but he gave us neck bones. He gave us backbone. He gave us pigtail. He gave us hog head, chicken feet, and all such like as that. But every now and then you want a good piece of meat. So here's what you do. You go down to the Bilo, Winn-Dixie, Publix, wherever your choice is, and it's something about us. We was coming out, we was P.O.P.O. We couldn't even spell poor, P-O-O-R. It was P.O.P.O. So we'd go into the store and we would plunk that meat, put our fingers in it, and then it'll bounce back up. Well, sometimes we look at the price and we can't afford them. So here's what we do. We go put them oxtail on layaway, and then we go back the next week, take them off layaway, come home and make us a nice dinner. But now, Daniel said, look now, I want me a good piece of meat. Now, I'm going in the master's house. I'm going to get me a good piece of meat. Now, he was not thieving. He was not stealing. I just said that he was what? Surviving. That's it. Y'all said he was not thieving. He was not stealing. He was surviving. Okay, so if Master was in the house, he said, go the other way. If he said, Master coming through that door, they said, do the wing about me, and you got to run fast. So where sinners go when they mess up? They go to hell, Jane. You going to what?
Going to hell.
Going to hell? Oh, Lord. Where sinners gone? Oh, Lord. Sinners gone to hell. Move, Daniel, move. Move, Daniel, move. Move, Daniel, move. Shout, Daniel, shout. Shout, Daniel, shout. Rock, Daniel, rock. Rock, Daniel, rock. Do the eagle wing. Do the eagle wing. On the other side. On the other side. Move, Daniel, move. Move, Daniel, move. Move, Daniel, move. Move, Daniel, move. Shout, Daniel, shout. Shout, Daniel, shout. Rock, Daniel, rock. Rock, Daniel, rock. Do the eagle wing. Do the eagle wing. On the other side. On the other side. All right. All right. Now there's a pretty song we like to sing, and Marge is going to introduce that song. And I tell you why. Everywhere I go, I look for ugly people, and I ain't see none. So if y'all ain't ugly, y'all deserve a pretty song, yeah. But now, I tell you what. Fred Sanford, y'all remember Red Fox, ain't it? He going down yonder, and he was walking down the road, and he say, "Oh, that ugly boy yonder." But Red Fox say, if you think a child ain't got some ugly parent, follow him home. Well, I can tell you better than that. I go into the hospital to see my friend baby.
Went to the hospital.
Fine little baby, little fat little baby. They give me baby in the blanket wrap up, and they had his head covered. Bless God, I look at that little baby and I say, "Woo." I couldn't say nothing. That baby been so ugly. I couldn't say that. I say, "Woo. Woo." And you know the spirit spoke to me, say, "You got to say something besides that." I say, "Oh, that sure is a fine baby." I ain't like 'cause I'm a preacher. Imagine.
On the island of Sapelo, one of the only islands, well, one of the few of them that's left intact. The only way you can access Sapelo is by boat. On the island of Sapelo, there was born a lady by the name of Katie Brown. Miss Katie had been born into slavery, but she grew out of slavery. But now, on the island of Sapelo, there were no hospitals. There were no doctors. And you couldn't get any place except by boat, and we had no boat. So Miss Katie became the midwife. And we let our young folks know that the midwife is the person who delivers the babies. Miss Katie was there, and she delivered a baby, and it was in my spiritual mind. I began to see Miss Katie as she delivered that baby. And it was a hard birth. May have been a breech birth. I don't know. But it took something out of Miss Katie. But she saved that baby. And she said, true story, and she saved the mother. And Miss Katie came out, and about 11 o'clock the next morning, sat down on the steps of that little two-room shack, began to think about the fate of this child. Well, we just out of slavery. It's going to be rough. She picked herself up, began to walk down to her little shack. And she had a great big magnolia tree in the yard. This year is going to be in dialect.
Come on, man.
And as she sat herself in the little chair, little children come running up to Miss Katie.
Yes.
Because Miss Katie always had some sup and a biscuit to give to them. And little fella come up there, Miss Katie, I tell you why, I want to ask you something.
Yes.
Well, now, not only was Miss Katie the midwife, but she was the counselor. And she was the go-to person on the island.
Come on.
Little fella said, Miss Katie, I got questions I want to ask you for. Where is child? Miss Katie, I trouble because I understand something. What is it, child? Little fella said, Miss Katie, the other morning, my pa couldn't go to work in the field. Master come there. And Master, he get mad at me pa. And he chunky boot. And he hit me pa in the head. But Miss Katie, that ain't been the thing. You see, the Christian pastor, he been a stand right there. And he ain't say ting to Master. Miss Katie said, well, I gonna tell you something. Say, you know, the road is gonna be rough. It's gonna be thorny.
That's it.
Only way, boy, you gonna get to heaven is to love everybody. Boy, said, but I hit him. I hit him, Miss Katie. Because he hit me pa in the head with that boot. And the Christian pastor, she said, the worst thing is, us had to go to church and sit there and the Christian pastor said, us got to love everybody. Miss Katie say, the road gonna be thorny, but you still got to love everybody if you wanna get to heaven. Boy, you got to love everybody. Miss Katie sat down and she said, I don't believe, I believe, I know. And Lorenzo Dow Turner, he come down yonder to Sapelo from Washington and D.C. And he heard it. He heard Miss Katie to talk and sing the song. The song, we talked so fast and he was so educated, he thought the woman said, I believe I know. She said, I believe I know. Well, he went back up there. Somebody put music to the words to the song that Miss Katie been to sing. And the song is, Believer I Know. But y'all know it's Believer I Know. Come on here, Marsha.
Come on, sing, Marsha.
All right. Believe I know.
Sing, Marsha.
I know, Lord, believer, I know
there mashing. Now look here. Jordan River, we got one more river we got to cross here. Before we get to heaven, we got to cross that river. Jordan River. And this here ain't no regular shout song that's to do anything you want a song up there, however the Spirit make you feel. Come on, y'all.
Went down to the river Jordan, where John baptized three. Well, about the devil in hell, saying he ain't gonna baptize me. Singing, roll, Jordan, roll, roll, Jordan, roll. My soul aroused in heaven, Lord, for the year in Jordan roll. Well, some say John was a Baptist, some say John was a Jew. But I say John was a preacher of God, and my Bible says so too. Hallelujah. Roll, Jordan, roll. Roll, Jordan, roll. My soul aroused in heaven, Lord, for the year when Jordan roll.
Went down to the river Jordan,
Yeah.
where John baptized three.
Yeah.
Oh, what the devil in hell said that he ain't gonna baptize me. I said,
Roll, Jordan, roll. Roll, Jordan, roll. My soul aroused in heaven, Lord, for the year when Jordan roll.
oh, some said John was a Baptist. Some said John was a Jew.
Some.
But I called John a preacher of God, and the Bible says so too. I said,
Roll, Jordan, roll. Roll, Jordan, roll. My soul aroused in heaven, Lord, for the year when Jordan roll.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, I just got to preach for a few minutes because you know what a setting like this here, you got to have a sermon. And you know our foreparents, they could not read, so they would just pick up a word and they'd take that word because they would go to the church on Sunday morning, but of course it was a Caucasian minister, they couldn't read, so they pick up a word. Well, I have a sermon for you today. I found me a shoe. I was walking down the road and I looked over in the woods and I saw, y'all got to help me today though, and I saw a shoe over there. And I picked that shoe up and I looked around and I couldn't find nobody that wore that shoe. So I said to that shoe, I said, shoe, you look like a good shoe. I'm going to take you to my house and I'm going to take good care of you. So every now and then I walk over to that shelf and I pick that shoe up and I say, shoe, you just look like a good shoe. I don't know who wore that shoe because I couldn't find nobody that wore that shoe. And I thought about it. I said, if Daniel had worn that shoe down in the lion den, everything was all right. Come on and say yes. Come on and say yes. I said, if Shadrach, Meshach, or Abednego had worn that shoe down in the fiery furnace, everything was all right. Come on and say yes. Come on and say yes. I said, if Vashti, you remember Vashti? Oh, no, 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 not Vashti. But if Esther had worn that shoe, everything, every little old thing was all right. Come on and say yes. If y'all want to hear the rest of that, come to church with me Sunday morning. I'll see that I finish that. But we had our closing. We are closing. And Marge is going to introduce our closing.
We had the good fortune to visit the church that Harriet Tubman worshiped in when we were in Canada. Well, we just had a change of plan, yeah. Us been in a service, well, us been performing over on a place called Jackal Island. And a woman asked us, what was it that we brought with us when we came to America from Mother Africa? And before I could answer her, Marsha relates that we didn't bring anything because she said it been an unplanned trip. Well, you know what? It was humorous then, and it sounds humorous now. But I went home, and I'm going to tell y'all, I rushed this thing yet because I want y'all to hear this yet. It's time for us to close. But I went to the house, and I picked up the pen, and I began to think about our ancestors.
All right.
And it ain't been funny to them.
All right.
And I could hear them as they were talking. And in my spiritual mind, I could see myself in glory talking to our ancestors. And they said, Margie, you need to tell them. It was a beautiful day in our neighborhood,
All right.
in our village. There was a cool breeze blowing. Up in the sky, there was not a cloud showing. We decided to go down to the seaside. Little did we know we'd soon be taking an unplanned ride. As we walked along, from out of nowhere, these brutal strangers, they came. They put shackles on our feet, shackles on our hands. We were dehumanized. Never again were we treated like a woman or a man. We were herded like livestock, thrown into the bottom of a dirty, dirty ship. On the way to an unknown destination, you know what? It was an unplanned trip. We crossed the deep blue sea to a foreign shore, a place we did not know and a place we certainly didn't ask to go. We worked as field hands. We tilled the soil and cultivated your land. We gave you a life of comfort and ease, working untiringly. You tried to take everything away from us, even our dignity. Our women, too, were misused and abused. Everything you asked them to do, they did it. Never once did they refuse. But in our hearts and in our minds, we remain a woman and a man. To this day, that's something some people still can't understand. But you know, we are a mystery. Other folks look at us and wonder how we can live and still yet be. But it's not whose we are that has determined our destiny, but it's not who we are, but whose we are that has determined our destiny. But thanks be to a man by the name of Abraham Lincoln, who wrote a decree that said on January 1, 1863, we'd all be set free. So we took everything you had to give, because we had to live. In our body, we carried a seed. It was the seed of the coming free. And as the evening shadows appear, we cast a weary eye toward Mother Africa, think about our former years. And then we think about it, we think about that dirty, dirty ship that brought us over here on an unplanned trip.
We are closing in. Margie.
Okay, now, like Paul said, we went to the church that Harriet Tubman worshipped in Canada. And I heard the woman up there saying how many it take from slavery to freedom. Well, I go speak like Harriet Tubman might have would have talked. We sing this song. It's a hymn. We attribute it to the woman by the name of Harriet Tubman, because she left at night, like she said. It was cold. She had to go through the swamp. And so we sing this song, and we dedicate it to the memory of Harriet Tubman. Now, Harriet, y'all heard the woman. She said Harriet never lost a traveler, because she had a trusty friend that she took with her. Y'all know ain't been that piece there. We call it Mr. P. But anyway, when she left that night, went through the swamp, and we sing this song for Harriet Tubman.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. You are wade in the water. Oh, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
Now, like we said, between 300 and 700 that she took from slavery to freedom. We go into our various churches now at 10 o'clock on New Year's Eve. We educate our children to let them know that we got sophisticated, so we call it Watch Night. But it was originally called Freedom Night. Freedom Night being that we were waiting for January 1, 1863. So that's why we carry on the church. Any old church, there would be an old deacon there. The church would leak on the outside and rain on the inside. And there would be a barred window. Old deacon would go to the window, look out around daybreak and say, "Oh, day, yonder come day." We educate them to let them know that he was waiting. We still sing that song. And the reason being is because there was somebody left there on that plantation that been waiting for January 1, 1863 to be set free.
All day, yonder come. All day, I see day. Oh, I see day. Day is breaking. Oh, day is breaking. Oh, day. Hush, hush. I hear something.
Am I not a man and a brother?
I am free. I'm free. Yeah. Praise
thank the organizers for making this possible, the Geechee Gullah Ring Shouters. Continue to pray for us as we take this around the world. In less than 7 days, we were in the New York Times and came out of London, England, with a total listening audience of 250 million, not million, around the world. The last thing that contributes to our culture, thanks to Hilton here and all of the other festivals like this, is everybody knew about Kumbaya, but through recent history, and you can trace this to the Library of Congress, we just found out for sure, 100% authentic, that it came out of the Gullah Geechee culture. So pray for us that we continue to keep this culture alive. Hilton Head, you're doing a lovely job. Thank you. We'll be out in the audience if you want more information or photographies. As I often tell them, we only charge the last person for photos, okay?